Independent India made a strong commitment to provide best and affordable healthcare to all sections of society. But costly medicine manufactured and marketed by multinational corporations were a source of great distress for common man. To ease the pressure, Indian government implemented Revised Patents Act 1970, which restricted patent protection only to process and not to products in pharmaceutical sector. This was milestone decision, which wide opened the gate for large-scale production of generic drugs indigenously. Generic drugs are low-cost bioequivalents of branded drugs in which the active molecule is produced by adopting alternate chemical routes. But to explore and exploit the opportunities, pharma industries required a strong base of indigenous process technologies for production of various generic drugs.
Most of the medicines that are made in this country represent a class of medicines which are called generics. Molecules, therapeutic molecules or drugs that go off patent in the Western world or elsewhere can be produced in such a way that the process becomes more affordable and therefore affordable medicine becomes possible. CSR has contributed right onwards from the 70s onwards to produce almost most of the medicines that are being produced by pharmaceutical companies in India. Most of the medicines that are being produced at affordable rates and serving the nation or exported came from processes and smart chemistries from CSR labs.
Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, rose to the occasion by taking up challenging industrial problems and introducing innovative pathways for production of generic drugs. Now, a network of CSIR institutes are participating in the generic drug sector under network, public-private partnership, open source drug discovery, and through in-house projects. Pharma industries also joined hands by sponsoring R&D projects for identifying novel, cost-effective and chemically viable industrial manufacturing process for various generic drugs of importance.
Starting from a simple drug, which is paracetamol, which a common man knows, to the most complex man-made molecule called eribulin, which can cure various cancers, CSIR has played an important role. The constituent laboratories, including mine, I'm proud of directing this laboratory, CSIR IICT, National Chemical Laboratory, Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, and IMTech Chandigarh. These labs, along with other constituent laboratories, are relentlessly pursuing for the last 70 years to provide health care through generic industry. The technologies we have given to industries is enormous. Our laboratories are developing economically viable processes using indigenously available chemicals to make sure that our country gets affordable healthcare.
CSIR IICT developed a superior and economically viable technology for low-cost production of sought-after AIDS drug, azithromycin, AZT. The technology was transferred to Indian pharma company Cipla, which supplied the daily dose at a meager cost of $1 only to an international medical aid organization. During some period, the branded drug was being sold at a whopping cost of $12 per day. Generic AZT could help more than 2.5 lakh HIV patients in poor countries. Encouraged by remarkable success, R&D work in various other HIV inhibitors was also undertaken successfully. A unique process for production of pentamidine was also developed, which is needed widely for treatment of Kala Azar. The technology was transferred to Cipla, which supplied the low-cost formulations to eastern states, where this dreaded disease is most prevalent. A unique process, know-how, was developed for commercial production of misoprostol, a drug useful in reducing death rates during abortion. Further, a purification protocol was also developed to enhance its stability, as it is very unstable at room temperature and needs very careful operations. The technology was transferred to AVRL laboratories in Hyderabad. Low-cost production significantly slashed its market price, making this essential medicine affordable to common people in India and other developing nations. An innovative one-pot, three-step process was developed for generic production of lipoic acid, which is an effective drug against diabetic comorbidities and also a popular nutritional supplement. The product obtained by this process is low cost and comparable with the market economics. CSIR IICT maintains and operates a unique and state-of-art facility to store diverse molecules either synthesized or isolated from natural resources. National Mole Bank is regarded as a gold mine for drug discovery process as it provides researchers an easy access to stored compounds for high throughput screening. Pure samples are stored at -20 degrees Celsius with a shelf life of at least 20 years. Currently, the facility houses about 40,000 molecules but has a capacity to store over 16 lakh samples. Robotic workstation modules perform input, output, thawing and sample picking in automated fashion.
Sai Life Sciences is one of the few companies that is engaged in development of complex generic drugs. And we take a lot of help from IICT in terms of synthesis or analysis or problem solving. In addition, IICT plays a very key role in terms of supplying quality manpower. We've used IICT's help in terms of staffing. A lot of our people come from IICT. And this has helped the industry and the country in terms of ensuring that generic drugs come at a price that is affordable.
CSIR IM-Tech developed a complete technological package for production of natural streptokinase, which is a clot buster drug. It is an effective and cheaper alternative to other clot-dissolving proteins and hence in great demand in third world nations. The technology for large-scale production of streptokinase injection was successfully commercialized by Cadila and many other pharma companies. Moving further, a recombinant version was developed which is about 5 to 10 times more efficient than the natural streptokinase. The technical know-how was transferred to pharma companies and now around 15 major brands are selling the drug in the market. These introductions have slashed market price of the clot buster by 65% and both versions together occupy nearly 50% of the Indian market. The licenses are generating value every year with rupees 17 crores realized and patients have realized immense value of rupees 16,000 crores. CSIR NCL undertook specific time-targeted and well-identified projects to develop processes for established drugs which were either exclusively imported or insufficiently manufactured in the country. Various drug industries joined hands with the institute by sponsoring R&D projects and commercializing the generic drugs in India and also abroad at cheaper prices. CSIR CDRI identified its thrust areas for R&D as malaria, tuberculosis, diabetes, osteoporosis, gastric, ulcers, dementia and thrombosis, which are of high significance to the country needs. It developed many generics in these areas, which are marketed by leading pharma companies. CSIR technologies have transformed the Indian pharmaceutical sector from almost a non-existent entity before 1970s to a prominent provider of generic products covering 95% of country's medicines. Besides the domestic market, Indian generics have earned a prominent place in the USA, Europe and semi-regulated markets. Today, India has the largest number of FDA-approved manufacturing facilities in any country outside the United States. Currently, the Indian pharmaceutical industry is the third largest globally in terms of volume and 13th largest in value. Innovations and technology interventions by CSIR labs are driving this industry to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 20% over the next 5 years. The success saga of generic drug industry in India continues with a new zeal, vigor and vision to scale new heights.